Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to Likewise Pod. Today it is just me, Issa, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm honestly kind of annoyed right now because I just recorded this little mini-sode, but the sound was just not good. So I'm gonna record it again, but honestly, it might be a little shorter. I don't know. It was like 20-ish minutes or so. So I don't know, maybe it'll be like 15. But something fun that Sam did last time was she talked about what she was drinking with her Olipop. And I am drinking, okay, so like those Starbucks Frappuccinos in like the glass bottle. Yeah, well, now they have those, but in like a mini can. So I'm drinking a Starbucks Frappuccino mini, the caramel one. So today okay, so my title that I chose, or not like title, but like the theme that I chose was like I called on my doc, I called it like growing up and losing loved ones. Also, I'm really okay. Side note, I have become very aware of this from like editing and listening to the pod that I just talk and talk and talk and give like context, explain all the things, and then I just say my point. Where I feel like people are like, oh my gosh, when is she gonna say her point? So I've been trying to like say my point and then give context. Because sometimes I feel like giving context and then the point is good, but I feel like most times it's just annoying. So I'm like very aware of that and I'm all like self-conscious about it. So, but it's fine. Working on it. Anyways, so growing up and losing loved ones, but then like the more I was like looking into it and doing things, I was like, oh, choosing joy in the midst of grief, like that's really good. But then honestly, it's kind of more this one I feel like is just talking more about like difference between joy and happiness and like why choosing joy is so important. And then I kind of get into choosing joy in the midst of grief. Um, so yeah, that's where I'm at. So I guess I'll get started. So joy is, as defined by Oxford Languages and Google, when you type in like whatever like definition or definition of whatever into Google. Yeah, so I did joy definition. So definition, oh my gosh, the definition of joy is a feeling of great pleasure and happiness. Um, and definition of like happy is okay, I didn't write it down, but it's like a a feeling or the state of being like oh shoot, what is it? It's like it's basically like a feeling of pleasure or contentment. And then the definition of happiness is the state of being happy. And I think it's really funny because in college I took a psych course and it was called motivation. And one day the prof goes, he's like, so what's the difference between joy and happiness? And a lot of people were like, oh, well, happiness is longer lasting and joy is more like the small moments, blah blah, all things. It's like, what the heck? Because to me, it's the complete opposite. Um, and like happiness is reliant on circumstances, and joy is the choice that we make, right? And like I'd learned that over the years, and so I was like, what the heck? I think, yeah, motivation. I took that my senior year, so like just last year. Um, and I was like, uh, okay, so that was kind of like the definition we had in that class. I was like, that's weird. But seeing like the definition, like the actual definition of joy by Oxford Languages and Google's a feeling of great pleasure and happiness. Notice happiness is in the definition of joy. So that um to me, first of all, helps back up my claim that joy is long lasting and happiness is reliant on circumstances. But anyways, happiness is in the definition of joy. So to me, like that signifies that joy is longer lasting than happiness, right? Happiness is a moment, joy is the feeling, joy is a choice. And like I was kind of looking things up to kind of put more in my notes and have more content for this episode. And I saw this and I've heard it before, but like people say that joy is an inner feeling and happiness is an outward expression. Like joy endures hardships and trials and connects with meaning and purpose. A person pursues happiness but chooses joy. And so joy is an inner feeling, right? You choose joy, you feel it in your heart, you feel it in your soul, you feel it inside. Happiness is an outward expression. So that's how people see your joy. That's how people see your happiness, right? Like a smile on your face, walk in with your head held high, or instead of like slouched and down and stuff. Like there are ways to um, show your happiness, right? Um, and like the second part, like joy endures hardship and trials, and it connects with meaning and purpose. So that's where I feel like the key difference is, like happiness reliant on circumstances, and like um it, happiness is easy. Life is hard. Wish it wasn't, but it is. All these things happen, and it's like, oh, I'm not happy because this happened, or oh, I'm not happy because that happened. It's reliant on circumstances. And so happiness is if then thinking, like, oh, if I get an A on my paper, then I'll be happy. If I get my favorite meal today, then I'll be content. Then I'll be happy. If my favorite artist comes to town and I get tickets, then I can die happy, It's like, okay, first of all, with that last one, like, oh my, like, yeah, I guess if I die right now in this moment, then I'll die happy, but that's not gonna make or break my life, right? And I feel like that's just such a big thing in culture today is what can I do right here, right now that's gonna make me happy right here, right now. It's not thinking about happiness in the future. It's not like setting ourselves up for future happiness, for future like success, I guess, in the happiness realm. And a lot of people define success as being happy. So are you not successful right here in the moment if you're not happy right now? Or are you just sacrificing for the future happiness that you are going to have because you're making the hard choices right now, you know? And I can't remember if I like heard it in a podcast or read it in a book or heard it somewhere else or saw it somewhere. I don't know, remember where I saw this, but a couple weeks ago, I think I saw something like if we're always pursuing satisfaction, like we will never be satisfied. I was like, dang, that's so good. And I mean, like I just said, like culture today, it's like, do what makes you happy. It's like, okay, yeah, but is that going to set me up for success? How people define success, happiness. Is that going to set me up for success in the future? Am I going to be happy in the future if I take a moment of happiness right now? It's like instant gratification versus delayed gratification, right? And I feel like that's that's where people get confused, or okay, maybe not confused, but like lackluster, I guess. I don't know the word for it right now, but I feel like catch my drift. I explained this well enough. Like it's so much easier to be happy than it is to be joyful, right? And so if we're always chasing happiness, if we're always pursuing happiness, we're never going to be happy. Oh, I'll be happy once I get into college. Okay, I got into college. Oh, I'll be happy when I get an A on this paper. Okay, I got an A on the paper. I'll be happy once I graduate. Okay, I've graduated. Am I happy now? Oh no, I'll be happy once I have a career, once I have a job. Okay, got a career, it's great. Am I happy now? Oh no, I'll be happy once I have a family and can go on vacation with them with all PTO. Okay, got a family on vacation. Am I happy? It's all those little things. It's like the if then relationships. Like oh, if I go on vacation, then I'll be happy. Oh, if I get my dream job, then I'll be happy. Oh, if I see my friends today, then I'll be. It's reliant on circumstances. Whereas joy, it's harder. Sometimes it's just plain out hard. It's plain out difficult, but joy is lasting because it's a choice. Joy is I have thinking like I have amazing friends who I know will be there for me even if my whole world turns over. I have gratitude for the way that my favorite songs and artists make me feel on my best days and even on my worst days. I have love and adoration for others achieving their dreams, even when it feels like I might not achieve mine. And so, with chasing happiness, it's like with the last one, for example, I have love and adoration for others achieving their dreams, even when it feels like I might not achieve mine. I have endless support, endless um, love for my friends when they're achieving their dreams, even though if I feel a million miles away from mine. And if you listen to my last minisode, you'll know that's kind of how I feel. That's the season I'm in right now, but working through it. But yeah, it's like if I'm always chasing happiness, I'm never going to be happy. So why not make the choice to be joyful? Why not make the choice to just be like the epitome of joy, right? No, it's not easy. It's hard. And that's why I feel like people don't choose joy is because it's hard. It does not come easy. It takes practice and it takes lots of strength, a lot of courage to be joyful. Um, and yeah, it's not for the faint of heart, but it is for everyone. And I think that it is such an important choice to make. I think it's such a good choice to make, right? Like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe people have heard the term choose happy, but I've never heard the term choose happy. I've only ever heard choose joy because joy is a choice. Happiness, being happy is the result of what happens to us. Like, happiness is reactionary, joy is proactive. Yeah, happiness is reactive, joy is proactive. Um, Kind of like nice and kind, where like nice is reactive, kind is proactive. Anyway, beside the point. Just fun little lessons for you. And so, like, some examples from my life of joy. So, if you don't know, I'll let you know. So, in 2010, I was 10 years old. My mom was pregnant and went in for like her 30 for like weekly checkup or something, like 35 weeks, 36 weeks or something. I don't remember. You're pregnant for 40 weeks, right? So we're a month out from having the baby, Reagan. Um, and she was, right on schedule. And my mom went in for her checkup and doctors, they couldn't find a heartbeat. So they're like, oh, this is peculiar. So blah, 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 blah. Long story short, there was a blood clot in the umbilical cord and Reagan died. And like it was a freak thing. Nothing that could have prevented it, nothing that could have, like, we could not have seen it coming. It was just something that happened. And so obviously, we're not happy. Like, we're reacting to the circumstances. And, I was 10, so I didn't really understand how to choose joy. And yeah, I mean, there's just so many side stories that I could tell with that. But, um, like that, routine checkup, it's a seemingly small thing, and um so for me, like that experience has taught me to not take the small things for granted, to notice the small things, to be present in the small times, in the small moments, because the small things, in the grand scheme of things, are oftentimes the big things, right? And so just really not taking the small things for granted. Um, and then also in college, sorry, this is like kind of deep. I mean, this like last part of the episode, but in college, my puppy, my grandfather, my dad's dad, he died my freshman year. He had dementia and then it progressed to Alzheimer's and he was old and yeah, so like that was really rough. And then in 2019, my sophomore year of college, the day before my birthday, childhood friend, my first ever boyfriend, he also died. So those two events, like just over a year apart from one another, um, I it it sucked. Like I was away from home. I didn't have my family with me. It was so hard to be. It felt like I was a million miles away. And I mean there was nothing I could do, right? And like, those things like they it still sucks. Some days I find like those two deaths like and even Reagan, like honestly, like I some days those three things like they hit me so hard, not always at the same time, thank God. But like they hit me so hard and I feel like I can't breathe or like I can't go 10 minutes without crying. I'm in living in grief even years later. Um But in those times, like I've come to find and choose joy. I've made a more conscious effort to talk to people, to reach out and strengthen relationships because, you know, people say, oh, life is short. And like, yeah, it is. But life is also so long. There are so many times and so many opportunities for so many things that we just let pass us by. And so, um, these experiences have taught me to really explore relationships and to strengthen them and just be be a good friend, be a good person. Um, like when someone's been on my heart, I do my best to like text or DM or message or like find some way to connect with them and let them know. Because honestly, my favorite's like, oh my gosh, Issa, I've been thinking about you. I'm like, "Ah, you have, thank you." And it's just it's fun. Like yeah, sometimes it's awkward. Not everyone responds. A little awkward. I'm like, oh, that's rough. But like the effort's there and I've done what I felt like I was supposed to do in that moment and I've never felt like it's been a burden or like I've a burden or like someone didn't want to hear from me. You know, if they didn't want to hear from me, then they won't respond. Or like they'll respond and be like, oh my gosh, Issa, I'm so sorry, I didn't see this for months. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. But like it's only ever lightened my heart. And so I don't know, just like these things are I guess they're kind of big examples. But even small things like no, I'm not always happy, but I can still be joyful. And I think that's a really important choice to make. And I think that's something that people don't choose very often and which I think is a shame personally. But yeah, so if you get anything from this, I encourage you to choose joy, whether it's a small thing like, oh my gosh, I saw a flower and it brought me joy, or it's something big like Um, oh my gosh, I get to travel to my bucket list country and that brings me joy. You know, I don't know if that's big for people, it'd be big for me, but you know, to each their own. So whatever it may be, I just encourage you to look for joy and find joy and choose joy in some way, shape, or form today, um, and all the days, and just be the joy to other people as well, because that's so important too. And yeah, so well, sorry. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Wow, so many things are happening. But yeah, so that's all I've got. I feel like my thoughts were all over the place. I tried to keep it coherent. I tried to keep it like concise and just on the nose. I don't know. Um, I tried making sure it like followed like some sort of structure, like some sort of line, and that wasn't just like jumping from place to place. But who knows? Yeah. So, anyways, would love for you to follow us on Instagram at likewise underscore pod. I'm pretty sure it's that. Um, because it's so cute. And honestly, Sam's been doing everything, and I feel really bad because it's all her doing stuff, and I'm like not. I post on the stories sometimes, but it's literally so cute. So seriously, shout out Sam for that. Uh, yeah. And then also follow us on whatever stream platform you use because as you can tell, likewise Thursdays don't really happen very much anymore. So it's really a gamble on what day will show up. Um, and then also would love, love, love for you to leave a rate and review because that's such an easy way for our podcast to like get out there and for other people to find us and notice us. And yeah, we just love to make more friends and for I don't know, y'all to have listening parties. That'd be fun. But anyways, that's all I've got for you. So thank you so much for listening. And yeah, so excited for future of Likewise and what else we've got for you. So that's all. Until next time. Love ya. Bye.